F.M. Hubbell was probably the most important businessman in the late 19th, early 20th century for Des Moines. He owned most of the real estate in the industrial district south of the downtown area. He developed lots of buildings here in the downtown area. Maybe most important, F.M. Hubbell set up a trust in 1902 for all of his properties. And that trust said that most of the properties could not be sold during the existence of the trust. The properties that could be sold, the money had to be reinvested in Des Moines. So what that did was keep the Hubbell money in Des Moines, and it also kept the Hubbell family in Des Moines. That's one of Hubbell's very important legacies, that 5 generations of Hubbells have remained very closely tied to the city. F.M. Hubbell came to Des Moines in 1855. As a youngster, his dad came out to speculate on land. And after his dad bought land and sold it, F.M. Hubbell told me he wanted to stay. He had started working at the Des Moines Federal Land Office. From that beginning, as a 16-year-old, he became the wealthiest man in Iowa through land development, utilities development, railroads, and an insurance company. It was an accident that Hubbell got into land development. When he came out to, with his father, he didn't know how long he would be in Iowa. So he wanted to get a job and make a little bit of money, and the only place he could get a job was the Federal Land Office. And he loved the experience. He loved the hubbub at the land office, all the excitement, and he thought there was real potential to make money. He was from Connecticut, and he didn't see a real future in Connecticut. So when his dad said, "I want to go back home," F.M., he went by F.M., his name was Frederick Marion Hubbell. F.M. Said, "I'd like to stay," and his dad said, "Okay." He gave him a $5 gold piece, and his dad went home, and F.M. stayed in Des Moines. He left Des Moines a year after he came. His job at the Federal Land Office in Des Moines was only a year. So he went to Sioux City to work in the land office there, and then he branched out on his own and became a land agent. He read the law while he was in Sioux City, and he wanted to get back to Des Moines. The Civil War had started, and a partner in one of the law firms that he was interested in working for went to lead an Iowa regiment, and he was offered a position in that law firm. It was Cassidy and Polk. Cassidy soon left, and the firm became Polk and Hubbell. He was criticized by some for not volunteering for the Civil War. Now, many Democrats did this, of course, and some Democrats were accused of being copperheads or anti-war, pro-Southern sentiments. I don't believe F.M. Hubbell was pro-Southern. He just wasn't interested in fighting. And like Rockefeller, for instance, like John D. Rockefeller, rather, a lot of businessmen did not join to fight in the Civil War, and they made a lot of money during the Civil War. So F.M. Hubbell is one of those who does not go and fight and does pretty well because of that. He made a lot of money buying distressed properties, which is true. During the financial crisis of 1857, he realized that he could make a lot of money if he spent all of his available cash on land at sheriff sales and foreclosed properties. And a lot of people felt that was sort of a bottom-dwelling type of strategy. But he did that. He went almost broke buying up these distressed properties. But when the economy turned around after the Civil War, he made a lot of money. After he went into real estate, he was now working for the Polk and Hubbell law firm, and his specialty was real estate. But they also realized, the two partners, that there were lots of opportunities in railroad development. Des Moines did not have great railroad connections, and Polk and Hubbell began to sponsor narrow gauge railroads that connected to the bigger standard gauge railroads that were running through Iowa. They also considered life insurance as a business. It would be a great way, they thought, to make money lending. They could take money in at 4% and lend it out at 10%. That was Hubbell's idea. So he put together a group of investors, and they started the Equitable Life Insurance of Iowa in 1867. It was the first life insurance company west of the Mississippi River. Insurance became one of the biggest industries in Des Moines, and it all started with the Equitable Life Insurance Company of Iowa. Once FM started that, others saw opportunities, and insurance companies began to move into Des Moines. Bankers Life was another early one. I believe that was started in 1869 or so. That became the principal companies. And then other insurance companies followed. There was a real synergy in having expertise in insurance. I think his most important move was the creation of Equitable Life of Iowa. The railroads were clearly important. They helped bring more business and people to Des Moines. But the Equitable of Iowa became a major insurance company, and when it was sold to ING, which is now Voya, I believe, it was sold for $2.2 billion in 1997. So it really accrued a great value over the years. Des Moines would not be the way it is without the Hubbell business influence, but also the Hubbell philanthropic influence. The Hubbells have given millions and millions of dollars throughout the city. And I think one of the things that's so impressive with the Hubbells is the family continued to hand the business down throughout generations. Businesses are very, very difficult to continue beyond 1 or 2 generations, and the Hubbells did it for 4 or 5 generations.